Hey everyone, this is Gary in Las Vegas coming to you live with Kayla Leiblich in Fort Collins, Colorado. And welcome and thanks for being here with us. Guys, I'm excited to share some great information with you. Kayla's got some great information that she's going to be sharing with you. So let's go ahead and get started. We are realtors. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. So both Kayla and I are realtors. I'm in Las Vegas. She's in northern Denver, Fort Collins, Loveland area. Is that correct? Loveland?
Yep, Loveland,
Yeah.
Fort Collins.
So I've been a realtor now for about a little over 5 years. I think, Kayla, you're about the same time as I. And about a year into becoming a realtor, I went to a conference and I saw a guy up on stage by the name of Jordan Adler. I knew who Jordan was. I knew he represented a company called Send Out Cards, but I had never looked at it. But I did that night. And when I did, I was like, oh, I so need this for my real estate business. Come to find out that Jordan had purchased a home from another realtor in my office, and it was kind of a fluke that I found out that information. But I asked Chet to have Jordan give me a call, which he did the next day. And he sent me through the process of sending a card, a free card, which we're going to recommend that you do as well. And we'll give you the websites that you can do that. And I signed up a couple of days later with Jordan and started using it in my real estate business. And the first thing I noticed is that I started getting feedback from people on just thanks for sending them a nice card, for reaching out and for saying hi and sending them a positive message. And then I started getting referrals and business from it. And ever since I've been using Send Out Cards in my real estate business, it's really transformed my business. Now, this last year, it's been a little bit rough year for me. I had a couple, times in the hospital and kind of rebooting. But I have been very strong in sharing this with realtors across the country. And when realtors take my advice, and I don't want to say it's me, it's really the system. When they use the system consistently, they start to make more money. And so with that being said, I'm going to introduce Kayla, who is just crushing it up in northern Denver, Fort Collins area. Kayla is a realtor for a little over 5 years with Keller Williams. Is that correct?
Yep.
5 years?
Just about 4 almost, actually.
Okay. All right. And you saw this here a couple years ago, started using Send Out Cards on a very consistent, very strong basis, to be honest. You saw, especially when you started getting results back, you went into this and really started maximizing the power of the application of the system. And it's really, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you would agree that it has transformed your business. Go ahead and talk to us a little bit, Kayla.
Absolutely. It has been life-changing for me. So basically what I did, and Lisa, just a quick question. Are you in Fort Collins area or are you in the Las Vegas area? Just put it in the chat. But yeah, so I started like 2 years ago now, almost in November, I think. And it has completely changed my world because I changed what I was focusing on. And that was, when I first started, I was working primarily on expireds and for sale by owners. And I was trying to get, because I was new to my area. My sphere was 100% realtors. I knew no one here. And so my goal was to build my sphere and get clients. And the only way that I knew how to do that, thanks to Bold, was, and Keller Williams, was the expireds and for sale by owners. So I started marketing pretty heavily to them. And what I realized is they're all getting a lot of phone calls, right? They're getting tons of phone calls, just call after call after call every morning. And so I wanted to find a way to reach out to them. And what that meant was I needed to basically come from a different angle. And that ended up being Send Out Cards. So I saw the system and I was like, well, this is like, when I first saw it, I was like, well, this could be totally awesome if I can automate it, or it could be a total like disaster if I have to remember to send every single card. And so when I first started, when I found out that there were campaigns, so like set it and forget it type of thing, because let's be real, that's who I am. Like if that's an option, it's not going to work, right? So once I started doing the set it and forget it thing, once I got set up, Gary helped me get set up and everything and kind of mentored me through the whole thing. And that's why he's here today. Cause he's awesome. I started sending out 4 or 5 cards to my FSBOs and expireds for every single time that a FSBO or an expired hit the market. So if they showed up on Zillow or whatever, I used Vulcan 7 and I would dial them, but I would also set them up on a expired or a FSBO campaign, depending on what you were looking at or what they were. And what ended up happening was insane. I started November 1st, and my plan was I'm going to send to every single person who hits my list in the next 30 days. And then we'll reevaluate and see what happens from there, right? Well, about 2 weeks into it, so people are starting to receive the second card, and then the third week they're starting to receive the third card because it was one card a week. I started getting phone calls, and I was like, okay, well, this is better. And it was, hey, I got your cards in the mail. Can you come talk to us about our house? And I'm like, well, fuck yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I definitely can. So I did. And like one of them even emailed me. She was a FSBO, and they emailed me the day of, like, Thanksgiving morning. And I was cooking, so I'm like emailing her back while I'm stirring the pots and whatnot. And I met with her 2 days later and signed the listing like 4 days after that. They interviewed like 6 people. Wow. And they thought that I was the only person who could do it because of my marketing. And so the difference is how you use the marketing and how often you use that tool and what it looks like. We've all gotten those gaudy yellow postcards in the mail that just say like, I buy houses or whatever it is that you see. And it's just ridiculous. So I couldn't, like, those turn me off. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want my house looking like one of those postcards, right? If I'm going to sell it. So why would I use that? I wouldn't. That's a very, very simple answer. And so, yeah, that was how I got started. And my ROI for the first 6 months was like $66 for every dollar spent. So like I signed enough listings to cover 66 more cards for every single dollar that I spent. And I think I spent like $5,000. So I did really good in signing higher dollar listings. The other thing that was super cool was how it changed who I was targeting. So I was sending them to everyone, but the people who were calling me regularly had the higher dollar listings. So instead of being at a $300,000 sales price average, my average sales price went up in about a year time to 500,000. So I gave myself a, 66% raise basically. And I didn't change anything. Like I didn't change who I was marketing to, but the people were ready, willing, and able. They were motivated sellers, and they may not have already had a listing, or if they did, people were passing my name back and forth. And so I finally started to build my sphere. So now that we're like 4 years into being in real estate, almost got a month, 3. Yeah. Now I use it for a completely different purpose. So I still do expires and for sale by owners when business is a little bit slower. And we're starting to see a lot more of those in our market. So we didn't before. But now I focus primarily on like farming my neighborhood because I want to get to know these people. And I do that because I do a lot of other things in my neighborhood. Like I'm on my HOA board. I have a Facebook page where everyone can talk and get to know each other. I send out the market reports through send out cards. And actually here's a sample of one that I did. So this is what it looks like right here. I'm holding down the unmute button, so I'm just going to change that real quick. Okay, there we go. So like this is one of the reports that I sent out, and it's 3 panels. And so like this talks about the 0+ loan and Keller mortgage. And then this is all of the information. So this is all of the market, like what happened in our neighborhood this month. This is an article. It's should you sell your home in the fall? So this is funny because this is about a year old and send the same thing out. And then this is kind of like my results and my numbers. And so it's been super beneficial. And then on the back, it's completely branded to me. So I don't have to worry about them, you know, not finding my information, forgetting who I am. So that's been a super cool tool. And then the other thing that I've been doing is now that I have more listings, I can host more open houses and I can do a lot more for my clients in terms of marketing. So here's one sample. And this is what I send out for every single open house that I do for my listings. The first weekend, this is what I always do because I don't usually get to the second weekend. So it's basically, it just says you're invited to our open house. It has the dates and everything right there, super easy. And then it's got a couple of just the pictures in the area. And then what we've got on the back, or on the inside, sorry, is like kind of like a mini brochure. There's a lot of information. There's information like how much they would save on Keller Mortgage, and then you know, just a little description. And then on the back, I've got more of my branding right here, and I've got my foundation that I started there. And it is amazing. So I send these out to the entire neighborhood when I have a listing and I'm hosting an open house the first weekend. So I'll order my photography. That gets done on like Thursday. I get the photos back on Friday, and I order these on Saturday, and they get delivered for my open house probably on Thursday. My open house is on Saturday and Sunday. So there's plenty of time for people to block it off on their calendars. They arrive super fast. There's no smudges. Like that's one of the things with like some of the printers who just do like postcards, they smudge, and that sucks. Because then they can't read your phone number if it's if it's in the wrong spot.
It just looks bad. It doesn't convey professionalism.
Exactly. And I'm a stickler when it comes to marketing. I have a design degree in interior design. So like I'm nitpicky as all get out. But yeah, so I send these out. And what's crazy is when I send these ones out, usually like, and I'll do Facebook marketing and I'll do all of that as well. Sometimes I'll door knock if it's a great neighborhood. When I send these out, this one in particular, I got 6 listing leads over the last 3 months from it. The open house was April 7th. So 5 months, and people, you know, they slow down over time, but people are still calling me about it. When we had the open house, we had over 50 guests come through, I believe. And this one, we had 3 sellers come through with this in their hand. They brought it with them. And then this particular neighborhood also has a lot of buyers, or people who rent and might be interested in buying the condo they live in. So they came in as well, and they had this in their hand. So the number of people who had this in their hand, and I will say, I have not hosted an open house and sent these out and not had someone come through with it in their hand. Every single time, without fail, they bring it with them. So what's super cool is as soon as I send this out, usually we get it under contract like that next weekend, right? If it's well priced, pricing is key. And then I get to send out my next one when it closes, and that's this guy. Look at how big that freaking card is. Here's the scale, right? Those are the 2 cards. This is regular greeting card size. This is the big cards that Send Out Cards has. And
that's going to make an impact.
It arrives in like a huge folder that says do not bend, and it's like, okay, what is this? And it really gets people to open it up. Like that's really what we want in real estate. Oops, sorry. Is to get people to open our mail, because when we send it out, 90% of the time it ends up in the trash, right? Not this guy. This guy is awesome. Now I will say he's a little expensive, but so on this one, I actually signed 3 seller listings just from this open house and sold card alone. Signed. Now the number of leads I got was, I don't know, 10, 15 that gave me their information at the open house and that I'm still following up with. But 3 of them have signed with me. One of them is listed right now. You know, they're getting ready, they're prepping their house, and I'm basically taking over this entire neighborhood. So that's pretty awesome. And so I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. It's very similar to the one that I did here. This is a different house. I need to organize and get mine all set up, but this is a different house. But look at that. Like, it's a beautiful 60s home. We had multiple offers for this lovely 60s gem. It sold for over our asking price, which it did, and over the appraised value, which is awesome. Just some great photos. And what's really cool is if you send one of these to the sellers, they love it. It is like their favorite thing because it's a memento. It's their home. They can remember the process. Like this even had like, look at that. That's a green.
It shows that you appreciate it as much as they do.
Yeah, and it shows that I'm actually working.
Yeah.
On it. Like they want to know, they want to see that we're working, right? Like they feel like most of what we do in real estate is like behind the scenes, and they really don't understand how many calls we take, what we do. So it's hard for people to grasp it sometimes.
Let me ask you, Kayla, you said on the small 3-panel, you got 6 listings from that campaign and you got 3 listings from the big car. That's 9 listings. Is that correct?
Yes. So
and how much would you say your total sales price would be?
Price point here is about $250 for these. So the 6 of those.
1.5.
Some of them are like $225, yeah. And then for this one, the average price point for this neighborhood is about $315 to $320.
So let's figure $2 million in round numbers.
Yeah.
If you're, of course, we don't want to talk about commissions and things like that in terms of percentages, but you made quite a bit of money off, and those 9 all came, you feel, not only from your follow-up, but really it started from your send out cards.
Right. Yeah, it did, because these were people that I hadn't met. And so what's really cool is once I get them set up on here and I've met them and they reach out to me, it's so much easier because they already know what my marketing looks like. They don't question what I'm going to do. They don't, hound me. They know that I'm going to do a good job for them. So they don't, a lot of the times they don't even ask me to like negotiate my commission. I tell them what I charge and they say, okay. So that's pretty cool as well.
Kayla, you've actually been able to raise your amounts that you asked, because I think you did a webinar once on different commissions, but if I remember correctly, you started like 2 or 2.5%, and I think it goes up to 4%. Is that correct?
No, it's actually higher than that. I start at 3 and I go up to 7. Yeah, no.
Considering both sides.
No, for just me.
Really?
Yeah. No, I start at 3 and I go up to 7.5 based on what they need.
That's wild.
I mean, there's a lot more work that goes into a 7.5.
Of course.
But that's just my side. So they pay the additional buyer's agent as well. And I've been able to successfully, say, hey, we're not going to reduce the buyer agent commission. It's not going to happen. If I can't negotiate my own commission, I'm not going to take it out of the buyer's agent's pocket. So that's the thing that I have on Facebook is in the real estate resource group on Facebook. And there's a whole video that I did on my listing presentation that you can literally, like, it's the R&D department, rip it off and duplicate it. I've had, I think, 4 calls from agents, and I love this so much. I've had 4 calls from agents who have, and they've shared in the group, taken my listing presentation, copied it exactly, like literally I thought I was looking at something I made. They copied it and then they presented it to someone that they weren't sure, like a new listing at an appointment. And all 4 of them got the listing on the first appointment. How freaking cool is that? So that was awesome. And it's partially because we include samples of these in those as well. So the next thing, so I do it for farming. I use them for open houses, and invites. I use them for just listeds, just solds. Well, just listed and open house go hand in hand. So just solds. And then, my sphere. So Keller Williams, when I went to family reunion this year, I never miss it anymore. And Gary really, really just hit home about, like, if you're talking to your sphere and you're reminding them, you will see the benefits. Like, you will get listings, you will get referrals. You just have to talk to your sphere and love on them. And so what I've been doing, and I don't think I even have any samples here because none of them ever come back. What I've been doing is that, like, I set up an MVP program and I send out, I basically tell my clients, like, hey, I'll call them and say, hey, I started this program. I'd love to get you in there. all you have to do is introduce me to someone who's looking to buy or sell this year, anywhere in the world, because I can send out the referral, and that's totally worth my while, right? So since I started doing that, and since I've really started sending out like birthday cards and happy anniversary cards, home anniversary cards, literally any type of card that you could possibly think of, like new babies. Oh, that's my favorite. Because send out cards, you can send gifts as well. So you can include like a stuffed toy. And that is so awesome. So like I include like the little giving bear, I think is, or gratitude bear, whatever his name is. And I send that to my clients who've had new babies with pictures from, so like obviously you can customize these, right? I take their pictures off of Facebook and I load them into send out cards, and then I use those as the front of their card. So I've had clients post those on Facebook, like, and I'll do the big card because I want them to be able to like frame that, you know? So it's pretty neat. And once you start doing that, you know, you become their realtor for life because you care about them you show that you care about them on a deeper level than, hey, that's my paycheck. Like, that's not all they are to you. A lot of the times they become friends, they become nearly like family. Some of my clients say, I love you when we get off the phone. Like, it's adorable. And like, I just met them. And those are the people that I want to help. So now I'd say 90% of my card giving and sending is gratitude based. So I try to send cards every day, or I intend to send cards every day. Sorry, bold. And they're one-off, like, hey, congrats on the baseball game win, whatever it is, with a picture from their Facebook. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, but what if you don't have their address? You know what's great? You can ask. And I think I've maybe had 2 people ever be like, why do you need my address? And I'm like, well, I kind of want to send you a card. Is that okay? It's not marketing. It's just something really cool. And if you hate it, just tell me and I won't send you anything ever again. And they're always like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And they give me their address. So it's pretty, like, it's such an easy thing to do. And then what happens, and Karen in our group on Facebook, she also, like, she is so good at sending cards that make people cry in a good way. Like, it's almost a superpower for her. Like, that's what we tell her, is that it's a superpower for her to make people cry. And she'll send like these motivational quotes with a picture of yourself, of like the person, and like, you got this, I believe in you, whatever motivation or whatever they need to hear at that time in their life. And so it is so cool because it's not just a real estate card. You know, you don't have to do real estate marketing. It's a touch on a personal level that just so happens to have my name and my face on the back. Like, then they remember, oh yeah, she does real estate. And
well, how many realtors can finish this statement? Real estate is about blank. I mean, we all know real estate is about people. It's about relationships. The better you are at nurturing relationships, taking someone from a stranger to a friend, to a prospect, to a client, it's a process. And there's only so many ways you can do this, right? You can reach out to someone by phone. I tell you what, if you're like me, you don't answer your phone anymore because you just get too many sales calls and we're busy. So you can send them a text, you can call them, you can send them an email. No one answers emails. They don't like emails. You can send them a like or a comment on Facebook. Great. But the best way is to send someone a card. And when you send someone a card with their picture, something that they posted on Facebook, they posted it on Facebook because it's important to them, because they want to share that with their friends and their network. And when you give that back to them on a card, it's a very simple process, and you wouldn't think that it would mean that much, but magically it does. It does. People are amazed when they get a card with maybe a picture that their dog passed away, the dog that they loved, and you send them a card saying, you know, so sorry that your furry love, you know, crossed the rainbow bridge. But you can do so much because it's something that, first of all, when it goes in your mailbox, people are going to open up your cards because they know it's not a form letter. Just the actual shape of the envelope is something that is going to get through the filter, the garbage filter. So it's going to be opened. Once it's opened, there's no electronic filter in there. It bypasses the brain and goes right to the heart. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice that you did that. This is what they're thinking. That's really nice that my realtor took the time to appreciate the grieving that I have over my dog, or the joy that our family had when we went on our vacation, or that my daughter graduated college. Whatever it is, if you give it back to them and just love and appreciate your network with the things that they post on Facebook, that alone is going to bring you business. It's just crazy how effective it is.
Absolutely. And, you know, I've told Gary probably 100 times, like I sent a client or a past client a congratulations on your wedding card and included like a $50 gift card inside of it through send out cards. And I was like, hey, enjoy dinner on me. Congratulations. And she sent me a thank you card back. So, and it was like, thank you so much for dinner. We really had fun. My sister is looking to buy soon and I gave her your number. Now that, like those types of things, like how often does that actually happen when someone is just so grateful for that? And so, you know, if you can really tap into the gratitude and the love that you have for your people, like that will make all of the difference in everything that you do in real estate. Like it takes so much off of your plate because you don't have to do expired calling. You get to make calls to connect with people that you already know and love. So I think that that's like amazingly valuable, and it shouldn't be like Gary's been talking about it all year. And I mean, everyone at Keller Williams is, even Bold 2.0, you know, doing that, focusing on your sphere. So even if you just went through and you sent your cards and did the database too every month or every day, every week, the way they have it set it up, you're going to have so many results. Like just make it personal, make it loving, make it something that they can, you know, frame, make it something you can take a picture off of their Facebook and send them a card and they'll have it by the end of the week. Like that is an unprecedented tool for such a low price. Like you can't really put, like Gary knows my ROI is like 66 to 1 for my spend on my cards. You cannot put a price on that when you're also bringing so much joy to people. Yeah. So I usually share, I've got my listing presentation and I've got my, like we've got some more webinars similar to this, so with a little bit more detail on the real estate resource page. So I'll paste that link here in the chat so that you guys can join us there. If you guys have questions, please bring those to, put those in the chat box because we would love to answer them. Gary's gonna probably go over the details here in just a minute for the send out cards, but I just want you guys to know, like, these make an impact. Like this being a just sold shows my sellers that I'm working for them. It raises my commission. It raises, you know, how much they value me, and they keep them as keepsakes. Like I have not been on a listing appointment where I've sent these and not seen it sitting on the counter. Like they keep these out. They don't throw them away. The June home reports, like if you can get some really cool things and set things up in like your local parks, and do some like community events and really foster the idea of community, you become the realtor of choice. You don't have to door knock. You can just get in front of people that way anyways. And that has been a game changer for me as well. Cause like I'll set up happy hours and just like meet and greets and like just like let's hang out. Movie nights in the park, and those are cheap, you guys. I'm gonna have to do a whole webinar on that. I found the coolest stinking thing and it's so easy and inexpensive. Like you could probably do an entire movie night for under $500 and invite as many people as you want. I mean, wow. I've also rented out movie theaters for my clients and split that with other agents, and that was fun too. So, and that's when you get to send invites to those things. So I should have done it for Halloween. That would have been really fun. I had a lot of, I don't know if anyone's seen that, but that was great. But Gary, if you want to chat about like the plans, what questions do you have? Lisa, Brooke, Anthony, anyone else have questions that we can kind of go on?
Well, as those are being inputted, let me go ahead and just take a moment and going to talk a little bit about different plans that are available with Send Out Cards. Now, as of last month, these plans changed. So I'm not really going to talk about what's no longer with us because it doesn't really matter. But I am going to talk about what is available. And thankfully, we still have the unlimited plan. Guys, we are in the people business. And when you love on your network consistently, you're going to get results. And one of the downsides with having a farm or marketing in general is that it can get very expensive. I mean, it just can. And the more effective it is, generally, the more expensive it is. I would say the exception to that, frankly, is Send Out Cards, because I think Send Out Cards is the most effective tool for realtors, bar none. There is no more effective tool to be able to reach out in kindness to someone and show them that you care than with a Send Out Cards card. And so reflecting that, money comes into our marketing. So I'm going to just talk about our unlimited package here for $97 a month. You can send unlimited, heartfelt, single card sends, including postage. That is such a ridiculous price, guys. Think about this. If you sent out 10 cards a day, maybe twice a day, you go on Facebook and you scroll through and you find some stuff, and you send out 10 cards a day, 30 days a week, okay, so maybe you only do it 22 days a week, whatever it is. Ultimately, I send out about 10 cards a day, about 300 heartfelt cards per month. And that cost me $97 per month. So 300 cards divided by, let's say, $100, that's 33 cents a card. 33 cents a card is actually less than the 55-cent stamp. It's so ridiculously inexpensive that I just think it's the best plan to have. I'll talk about the other plans here in a moment. But the ability to not have to worry and count the costs every time that you want to send a card, and that just takes that out of the equation. Now you can use this plan to really just, when you get that prompting, oh, that's such a great picture that my friend posted on Facebook, boom, you can send that off immediately. And if you do that over and over and over again, you're going to go, and I say this all the time, probably every webinar, you're going to go from out here in the ether where all the other realtors are at. And the more consistently that you love on your network, you're going to go from out there where everyone else is at to top of mind, and then over time to top of heart. And top of heart is where the referral machine is at. That's where your sphere goes to work for you. And that is a very powerful thing to happen. Now, a good friend of mine, Gail, out of Michigan, Gail Zintek, started using Send Out Cards about 8 years ago. And she was at about 30% referral at that point. And now, for the last couple of years, she is at basically 100% referral. She goes into her office in the morning and she opens up her Facebook page and starts sending cards and gifts to her network and waits for the phone to ring. Now, that's a pretty cool real estate business in my mind. Waiting for the phone to ring. And when the phone rings, she'll answer it. Gail Zintek, how can I help you? Because she knows that those people, because that's the only marketing that she does, she knows that those people are there to do business. So it's really just a great way to take the cost factor out of it and just start loving on your network and just go crazy. And I don't want to say abuse it, but abuse the system, abuse the hell out of it. Now you can't copy and paste, you can't break the fair use policy. You can't make one card and send it out to 1,000 people and expect that it's going to cost you $97 a month. I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in a sec. But if you're sending out that from your phone, from your app on your phone, or from your laptop, your desktop, if you're sending out those one-offs, those special cards, those heartfelt cards, and doing that consistently, your phone's going to start to ring. All right, so included with the $97 unlimited heartfelt cards, we also get discounted shipping on the top selling gifts. So there's like 15, 20 gifts that are our top sellers. The 2-pack of brownies, the 4-pack of brownies, I can't name them all. But ultimately with the unlimited package, you save about 20% on your shipping. So that brownies used to cost about $10 to ship out. Now it's about $7.60. So it's really a nice package to be able to have if you're a big gift sender. You get a 30% discount on all the gifts that are in the system. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about the other types of cards. There's really 2 types of card sends. There's that heartfelt card that you see something on Facebook, or you think of someone, you have that prompting, oh, I need to reach out to Jennifer. Those are heartfelt cards. You can send unlimited cards like that on the unlimited package. But if you're going to send out what we call a system send, which is either what we used to call a group send, which is one card going out to many people, like Kayla does that on her just sold, or her open house. Those are group sends, one card that goes out to many people. Or the other part of what we call now system sends is what we used to call the schedule sends, right? The campaigns where you put someone's in the contact manager, you put their birthday in there, their anniversary, and you put them into a campaign, and depending on how you set up the campaign, they're going to get a few cards over the year that you don't do anything with other than you set up the campaign and you added them to the campaign, and the system takes care of everything. So for those 2 type of cards, the what we call now system sends, it used to be called group sends and scheduled sends, those are all $1.75 a card plus the 55-cent stamp. So you're able to send out those unlimited cards that you don't have to really think too much about, because you have programmed your system to send out those cards on the schedule that you've set up. So your network automatically gets their birthday card, their anniversary card, a holiday card, whether you choose to make that Christmas or New Year's. I do New Year's myself. That's all done automatically. All right, so then you also get the unlimited relationship manager. It includes all card types. Now, guys, you may know that we have 5 different types of cards. We have a postcard. I don't send those out. I just don't. They do get smudged. But we have a flat card that's a 5x7 inside an envelope. That's a great way to send a card. We have the 2-panel card. We have the 3-panel card, which I'll show you here, which Kayla also showed us here just a moment ago. The 3-panel cards and the big cards. So we have 5 different cards, and all of those, with the exception of the big card, you can send unlimited single heartfelt cards. I think the big cards, I think is $1 or $1.50 upcharge. Is that right, Kayla? So Kayla's on mute. So anyway, all right. So let's go and talk a little bit more. That's all right.
Yeah, no, it is. I think it's $1.50, and it is so worth it, you guys. I can't even like begin to say. And like the flat cards also, those are super cool. Just to send like one picture with some words, like you got this or something. Those are really cool, and people really, really appreciate them.
Yeah. All right, so that's the unlimited plan. Frankly, that's the plan that Kayla and I will recommend to any professional, any realtor, anyone that owns a business. Get the unlimited plan, take the cost factor out, and just start sending cards like crazy, and you're going to start to see the results. All right, so one of the new plans that we have now is called the Card a Day plan, because there may be some people that are just getting started with send out cards. Maybe they don't feel like they have a big enough network to be able to use the unlimited package. All right, so we have a Card a Day program. This is $37 a month, where you get 30 heartfelt cards per month, but it does not include postage. So this plan, if you send out those 30 cards, it's going to cost you about $55 or so a month between the subscription and the postage. But it does allow you to send out 30 cards per month. Your system sends are $2 per card, and then you get a 20% discount on gifts and all the other features that the unlimited package has. We also have an enhanced package and a basic package. I'm really not going to spend much time on that. I don't think they're really that worthwhile for professionals, and anyone that's listening to our webinar, 99% of you are professionals. So these are really the two different plans that I recommend. Now, however, we have another add-on. It's called a system package. So this is great if you're going to be serious about using send out cards like Kayla is, like myself, a few other realtors that I've helped. Not only do you want to send out a lot of heartfelt cards, but you just don't have time to send every card as a heartfelt card. You want to systematize your birthdays, your holidays, your things that a card that you send out over and over and over again probably ought to be what we call a system send, what we used to call a campaign card. So here's the add-on that is a phenomenal value. For $395 a year, and it's a year-by-year add-on, you get 300 cards, 300 system sends, whether those are group sends or a scheduled send like a campaign. You get 300 cards for the $395. Now, I know Kayla uses something like this. She would probably run through those 300 cards in a month. And if that's the case, that's fine, because down here you'll see that after you run through those 300 cards, every card after that is $1.31 plus the 55-cent stamp. So if you remember back up here, we were talking about each card being $1.75 plus the stamp. All right, so here, this is $1.31 plus the stamp. So when you buy in bulk, you're able to send out a lot more cards and save about 25%, if not more on that. So what's nice about the system, the system package, is that you also get to receive all of the campaigns. You get unlimited access to all of the campaigns. So if you're a realtor, we've got a 3-touch, a 5-touch, a 7-touch campaign that you can actually use. You may want to modify it and tweak it a little bit so that it's your card with your picture on it, but that campaign is ready for you to use. So this is a phenomenal way for you all to be able to save money and really maximize the power of send out cards. For realtors, it might be farming or sending out for open houses and things like that. Kayla, do you have anything that you want to add?
I think that pretty much covers it, Gary. There's just so many ways to use this system. It's like I have priced out what it costs for me to go to the store, find a card, buy a card, and send, write it, send it, all of that. I have priced that out, and it's about $5 for my time, my effort, and that's if I know what I'm going to say. So it's definitely,
and you can't modify it.
So affordable compared to the time that I take, and I can send out my entire, monthly or open house plan in maybe a minute or two once I've got it designed. And that time savings is almost the most valuable part of this, is how fast you can do it, how the quality that it and the quality. So for the price, you get speed, you get your time back, you get excellent quality, you get to have a reputation that
fully customizable,
professional reputation that looks great. There's just so many ways to do it, and so many benefits that it's changed the way my entire business works. So if you guys have any questions, we're more than happy to answer them.
Let me do one thing, Kayla, and I'll finish up. I want to talk briefly about being an affiliate. Kayla and I are affiliates with Send Out Cards, and it's a really smart financial decision to be an affiliate if you're going to be serious about it. And here's why. If you signed up for the $97 a month plan and you signed up to be an affiliate, Kayla and I, number one, are going to help you to be an affiliate. We're going to take we're going to do the heavy lifting for you, at least until you get comfortable and kind of take it away from us. But here's the thing. If you started up at $97 a month and added the affiliate option, and you went out and with our help or without our help, you signed up 4 other people at the $97 a month plan. Well, now you're making 20% off of your $97, 20% off of those 4 plans. You're getting compensated for $97 a month. So now one of the most powerful income producing tools for realtors is actually able to be subsidized and free. And beyond that, if you continue to show this to people, it actually turns into a profit center. So, I make a lot of money with send out cards. It pays for everything related to my automobile, my new car, my insurance, my gas, all the maintenance. It takes care of everything. That's just one bill that I don't worry about anymore because I'm compensated by send out cards. Now, I can tell you that there's other people in the company that it not only takes care of their car, it takes care of their home and their vacations and their children's college fund. There is a lot of money in send out cards. And I don't talk about this that often, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this today because a good friend of mine, Jordan Adler, who's my sponsor in send out cards, is a helicopter pilot. And he had a conference call about this last night, his training call. And Jordan spent $150,000 on this helicopter and got it. It's one of those old MASH bubble canopy helicopters. Bought it, refurbished it, got it up and running. Had only flown it for 10 hours. And there's a kind of a long, convoluted story to this. But ultimately, Jordan was in an accident with his helicopter. And he totaled his helicopter. And he wasn't seriously hurt. But he reflected on that he very easily could have been. And he reflects that and I've had this happen in my own life, when you have a residual income coming in month after month after month for something that you've done once, months or years ago, but you're still getting paid on it, that's super powerful. And it has the ability, frankly, to change your life. You start thinking differently. You start thinking, if I don't want to live in Vegas, I don't need to live in Vegas. I can go live wherever I want because I've got a cushion. I've got that base income. And for a lot of people, it's much more than a base. So guys, my point is that being an affiliate for send out cards, number one, at a very minimum, can subsidize your cost of send out cards. Number two, can give you amazing tax benefits. All right. You go to Hawaii and give a presentation in Hawaii, boom, you can write off the trip. There's so many things that you can do as an affiliate with send out cards. Most of us on this call, on this webinar, are realtors. And we all know that we get paid as a realtor when the job is completed. How many of us have an exit plan? I would say the great majority of realtors really don't think that much about an exit plan. Guys, send out cards is an exit plan. Yeah, you can make a lot of money in real estate. Guess what? You can make a lot of money in send out cards. It's a different mindset. It's more of a marathon than a sprint. But when I was in the hospital last year, my checks kept coming in. And they keep coming in no matter really what. And that is a really life-changing, life-affirming, powerful concept to get your arms around. So I highly encourage you, number one, to use send out cards. Use it to grow your real estate business. If you use it consistently and aggressively, I know, and Kayla will agree, we know that this is going to bring you business. Secondly, become an affiliate. Let us help you to develop a second income stream. Just on a little side note, real estate's changing. No one is guaranteed to be a realtor 10 years from now. Everything's changing. It's really wise to have an insurance policy and have multiple streams of income coming in so that you can protect yourself no matter what happens. So that is really all that I want to say. Kayla, I'll hand it back to you if you want to finish up and answer any questions. Do we have any questions that we need to answer?
I don't see any on the Zoom. I haven't checked Facebook. Yeah, I will just reiterate that, there are so many multi-level marketing schemes out there, and this is not one of them. When Gary talks about being an affiliate, it is $59 per year to be an affiliate. That's it. So literally, one or two really nice dinners out, and you've got your entire year of send out cards as an affiliate. Now, you'll get your 20% back. So really it's basically free. That's kind of the easiest way to look at it. Because if you're spending, let's see, let me do the math here. So if you've got $97 and you get 20 bucks back. You get your money back in 3 months, and you get to be an affiliate. So 3 months on the $97 plan, and you're basically free as an affiliate. And you don't have to peddle send out cards or, make it your own business immediately. Get comfortable with it, play with it, make it work for you, but take advantage of that, because why wouldn't you want to earn income on something that you're spending money on when they pay you for what you spend?
Well, think about it not only that way, but also just being to add value to your fellow realtors, whether they're in your city or outside of your city. Hey, real estate can be difficult, and have a little compassion. You were there at one time where it was really difficult for you. Being able to share something like this and give someone the ability, because it's really not going to affect you, because their warm market is probably a lot different than your warm market. So, you can share this, and it's not going to hurt your real estate business, but you are going to add value, and you're going to be able to create a residual income. Anyway, go ahead, Kayla. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. I think that that's exactly it. How do you build stability in this, and financial stability in this world today? Well, that's how you do it. There's not really any other way to put it. That's how you do it. It's pretty simple. It's easy. And, it's putting gratitude and good vibes out into the world on a whole nother level. You cannot match this for this price and have it bring you what send out cards can. It can bring you clients. It can bring you, happiness and gratitude and a different mindset, because when you're sending that many, that much gratitude out into the world, that is exactly what comes back to you. It sets you up for life, and it sets you up for financial stability, and it gives you more clients in your real estate. I don't see how you can possibly lose with this. Well, there is one way. The only way you lose with this is by not using it.
That's right.
So if you sign up and you don't use it, that's the only way.
That's right.
But if you sign up and you play with it and you send yourself a card or two, go on here and go to our links here. And I think you can send yourself a card or two for free and just play with it. Have some fun. There's really no reason not to, because if you're looking for the next shiny thing, this isn't it. This is shiny, and it's like a diamond. It lasts forever. It's been years for me, and I'm still seeing results from my first campaign that I ever sent out for expireds and FSBOs. People are still calling me, and they still have those freaking cards. It's amazing. So
that's crazy.
I can't speak highly enough of it, and I really hope that, if you're on here or you see this later, you reach out with any questions, and, you just make the most of it. That's what I hope you do. And I hope that you see the same successes that Gary and I have. And if you don't, reach out to us and we'll help you figure out how to. That's what we're here for. You can find us on.
Sorry, Kayla. If I invited you and you are not with Send Out Cards, I want you to go to my website, www.sendoutcards.com/go mobile. And I want you to send a card for free. You can send it to a loved one, a friend, a client. Heck, you can even send it to yourself. But send a card. Now, if Kayla has invited you, then you want to go to her website, www.sendoutcards.com/be bold, and send a card for free. And by doing that, you're going to, bear with me here. I got to figure out how to operate my machine. I'm not quite sure how to get rid of that. Yeah, anyway, when you send a card, then you are going to, there it is. When you send the card, you're going to be set up for the basic plan, the pay-as-you-go plan. So you can actually send cards in the future. It's going to cost you, $350 a card to do that, but you have that ability to do that. Once you send your first card, you can send other cards. Now, you can also, at that point, you can upgrade and go to one of our subscriptions. You can add the affiliate. You can add the system package, things like that. But first things first, send the card and then reach out to Kayla, myself, or if someone else has invited you to this webinar, you want to get back together with that person and ask them questions. And if Kayla and I need to step in, we definitely will. But I think at this point, Kayla, we've gone over how powerful this is. We've gone over the costs. We've gone over a few things that I think is beneficial. Unless we have any questions, let's go ahead and call it a day.
All right, that sounds good. Well, you guys know how to reach us. I'm Kayla Lieblick. This is Gary Allen. You can find us on Facebook. Check out the real estate resource or log on to our send out cards things. We'll chat with you guys soon. Have a good day.
Have fun, everyone. Be good.